Thank you, my lovely audience, for being here tonight on this chilly, brisk fall evening. I would like for you, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes. Imagine yourself waking up in your cozy bed, getting out of bed, slipping into some comfortable clothes, your shoes, grabbing a hot beverage, and taking yourself out for a brisk morning walk. The sun is filling the sky. Maybe there's pink on the underbelly of the clouds. You're walking down a forested path, looking at the colors of the changing season, listening to the songs of birds, and hearing the crunch of your feet in the path below you. Now visualize getting in bed, or getting up, grabbing your phone, scrolling through the notifications that came through the night before, staying in bed until you have no extra time to lose before you need to get up, make yourself breakfast, get dressed, and rush right into the day, trying to manage the tasks ahead of you, running on adrenaline and feeling overwhelmed, underslept and tired, but wired. Even though you did sleep, it wasn't quite the sleep you needed. Okay, you can open your eyes. So many people in the modern world suffer from insomnia, anxiety, lack of energy during the day, and stress, which is the leading cause of all diseases and illnesses. What if I told you there was a solution to it? And it's free, it's accessible, it requires no special training or equipment, and it can be done anywhere in the world at any time. That solution is walking, an early morning walk. And tonight I'm going to share my research with you about how walking really does solve so many of the problems that we as human beings live with in the modern world. There are too many benefits to go into tonight. However, I have narrowed it down to 3. 1 is an early morning walk optimizes your cortisol cycles. 2, walking reduces anxiety and promotes alertness and mental cognition. 3, a lifetime is lengthened by walking. So morning exposure to sunlight is the best way to maintain a regular, healthy cortisol cycle. Cortisol begins to rise before we wake up, is triggered even more so as our body temperature increases when we wake up, and then peaks a couple hours after we get out of bed. It is so important to optimize this by going outside and getting the bright morning light of the sun or the clouds, 30 to 60 minutes after we wake, which is what Dr. Andrew Huberman, who's a neurobiologist at Stanford, says, who studies circadian rhythms and obviously neurobiology. So indoor lights are not bright enough, and getting light through windshields or windows is not enough. You need to go outside, even if it's cloudy. This helps reduce our cortisol levels later in the day, which helps us sleep better and deeper and resets the cortisol to rise in the morning when we need it most, when we need to be on our most alert, most awake, most energized selves. So, as we can see, getting up and getting outside, going for a walk, sets the foundation for good health, for good energy, and for good sleep. So next, let's look at how walking improves our mental health. Walking, also called forward ambulation by neuroscientists, is just a fancy way of saying moving yourself forward. And it can also be forward ambulation can also be biking or skateboarding, walking, even driving in a car, but really a self-propelled forward motion. This creates the phenomena of scenery passing you by in your optic field, so we call this optic flow. Optic flow reduces activity in the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that reacts to stress, puts us in defense, fight or flight, responds emotionally, and stores intense emotional memories. So if we intentionally reduce the activity in the amygdala early in the day, we're set to be more peaceful with less anxiety throughout the day. And in 2019, the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that doing 30 minutes of moderate intensity, such as brisk walking, in the morning not only improves your cognitive performance, but also improves the cognitive functions associated with smarter and better decisions. Who does not want that early in the morning? Whereas sedentary behavior is associated with impaired cognition. So walking outside solves having a lack of focus and too much anxiety, which do not work well together when you're trying to get stuff done. How can walking affect you long term? What if you did this every day for a decade, for 2 to 5 to 7 decades? There are still people in blue zones in the world that are walking to town, that are getting their errands, going to visit family, that live well into their hundreds as happy, healthy individuals. These areas, called blue zones, where people live to be 100 or older, have a higher rate of physical activity built into their daily lives. I've witnessed this firsthand when I was traveling in Central and South America. The first time I saw someone hiking up a mountain with a bundle of firewood strapped to their back over their forehead stunned me. I had no idea old people, really old people, could still hike up mountains bearing weight. This just proves that this daily habit that is innate to us as human beings and what we need to do in order to survive is perfectly designed to keep us well and to keep us in motion. So, as Henry David Thoreau once said, an early morning walk is a blessing for the whole day. I'd like for you to imagine again the potential benefits and solutions to some of the problems you have in your life that could be solved with walking. If you could walk to reduce your stress, to reduce your anxiety, to prepare yourself for the day with a calm, regulated mind, to make sure that you have the right energy at the right time so that you can get sleep and wake up at a reliable time with as much focus as you need, and have that span across a lifetime with just the will force and motivation to get up and do it. It's yours. You have the knowledge now. You can do it. So I urge you to think about waking up and going for a walk. Thank you.